Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to our monthly Eagle Pass Independent School District board meeting, regular board meeting. We're here at the district center, and we call this meeting to order. Mr. McCarty, will you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, please? At this moment, if we can have a moment of silence for a former board member, Mr. Ramon Ramirez, who passed away recently. Thank you. Now we will go through roll call. We have Ms. Ilda P. Martinez, present. Mr. Christopher Hitter, present. Mr. Victor Perry, present. Mr. Morris Lipson, present. Mr. Jaime C. Barrera, present. Mr. Samuel Mijares, the superintendent, present. Our attorney, Ms. Valerie Carrillo, present, and myself, Jorge Barrera, present. Now we will move to public hearing of the Eagle Pass Independent School District 2025-2026 annual report. And we will call this hearing open. It is 6:02 p.m. and it is open. And we didn't have anybody signed in. So at this time, it is 6:03 and the public hearing is now closed. We will now move to citizen communications and recognitions. First, citizens communications, there was nobody signed up. So we will move to our recognitions. And we'll do number one, recognition of the Rosita Valley Elementary Roadrunner cheer team for winning the small elementary school division level championship.
Good evening, Mr. President, distinguished members of the board, and of course, Superintendent Mijares. Thank you for allowing me to spend some time with you this evening. Tonight, we'll kick things off as we recognize Rosita Valley Roadrunner Cheer as they competed at San Marcos, Texas on January 19th at the Texas Cheerleader Competition. The team was proud to represent Roadrunner country and brought home a hard-fought first place in the small elementary school division. Way to go, Roadrunner Cheer. At this time, we invite the board and Superintendent Mijares to join us for photos. Also, parents, if you'd like to come to the middle to get the photo right now before we get our official one, this is your time to do so. Congratulations definitely go out to the Crochet Club from Sam Houston Elementary, as these movers and shakers were recognized by Corey Ware on CNN 12. At this time, we would like to show all of you the clip that recognized the Cougars.
Our 25 days of shout-outs roll on, and this one goes to Sam Houston in Eagle Pass, Texas. Miss Guajardo and friends from the Crochet Club sent us this doll. Not sure why, but something about it. Just really like it.
Congratulations for literally putting Eagle Pass ISD and Sam Houston on the map, Crochet Club. Once again, parents, you may move to the middle to get the photo at this time, should you choose to do so. Just a reminder, all photos will be free for download tomorrow on our district website. Glass Elementary cheered their way into victory in San Antonio, Texas at the Alamo Championship. Falcon Cheer snagged first place in their respective division. Way to cheer your hearts out, ladies, and show that in a Falcon's nest, there certainly is the best. If there are any parents that'd like to come up to get your photo, you may do so at this time. Congratulations are in order for Liberty's Lady Eagle Division II Winter Softball League. The girls did an amazing job this season and hit it out of the park. Congrats on a great season, ladies, and bringing home more championship hardware for Eagle Country. Once again, if there are any parents who'd like to get their photo, you may do so at this time. The Liberty Elementary Lady Eagle Girls Division III softball team proved to everyone what being a Diamond Girl really means as they rounded those bases in the Winter League like champs this season. It is no surprise they brought home the division win. Congrats, Lady Eagles! If there are any parents who'd like to get their photo, you may do so at this time.
At this time, we will be moving to district reports and presentations. We're good. We will take, actually, we'll do in the first one, right, by itself. First one, presentation of the Eagle Pass Independent School District 2025-2026 Annual Report.
Good evening, Superintendent Mijares and the school board, Mr. Barrera. So today we bring the annual report, the annual report that we do that includes, of course, items such as the TAPR and other items as well that are included. And before I start, let me just briefly state a couple of things on the binder that you have with you there. So on the first tab, you have the actual PowerPoint presentation that I'm going over right now. So the presentation is there, all of the pages there, all of the slides are included there. And the second tab is the actual TAPR. So this is the actual document that gives us our academic rating and so forth that is published by the state for every district and every campus. So that's just how the binder is organized. So without further ado, let me go ahead and start with a presentation. So the first item that we have here is the components of the presentation, or the report rather. And the first couple of slides would be the most important because they contain the ratings that we are required, that come from the state. And the first one being the most important, of course, is the district accreditation. Followed by the TAPR, which is the report that contains all of the data in regards to both academics, finance, among other things, and some PIMS financial standard reports as well, campus performance reports, objectives, and so forth. These are the items that are required to be part of the annual report, the TAPR being the biggest component of the whole report. So the next couple of slides are by far the most important because they give you the actual ratings and the accreditation. So our financial rating is an A, superior achievement. Our accountability rating as far as academics is concerned is a B. The special ed determination status meets requirement. And of course, due to all of these factors, we are an accredited school district. So we are fully accredited for this year, as we've always have been in the past. So those components are what get you, or get the district to be accredited. The following slide, which is also there in your presentation, in your binder, all of these are in the binder, is the actual report from the state that reflects the accreditation that we have for the school year. So there at the bottom of the page, you see, of course, the county district number, district, our region. We're from Region 20. And of course, we have the first rating, A, superior achievement, B, for accountability. And that together gives you a fully accredited status for this school year as we've had in the past as well. So those are by far the most important portions of the report, because this is what we want to achieve every year, not just one item, but everything that that coalesces into being accredited for the full year. Following that, the last couple of months, we've had presentations here at the board where the campuses have been recognized for their ratings. These have been going on in the last couple of months. We had the campus ratings. They're reflected again here in this report, as were mentioned a couple of months ago when they were recognized here at the board meeting. Along with that, we also have the distinctions. That one, I believe we did it last month when the campuses got their distinctions. Those are the actual distinctions that were presented last month. So all of this is part of the Texas Performance Academic Report. And then we go into the actual testing information. So in order to get a state score, we must have good results as far as the approaches level in STAR is concerned. This is where the state accountability comes in. And you can see the actual scores according to grade level and subject. And you can see there's mostly increases in reading, and then you also have math, science, social studies. So those are the results that are used to arrive at the actual accountability rating for the district and the campuses as well. Followed, we have the MEET standard. This is for our Closing the Gaps, the federal requirement, federal accountability, domain 3. That's what this is used for. It is at a higher standard. So this is what the federal government requires to report, for us to report. And again, all of this data emanates from the TAPR report as well. All of it is due to, of course, state assessment information. And then I just mentioned a while ago the distinctions. So how do campuses earn distinctions? Well, campuses earn distinctions according to the master's category, which is the highest category in attainment when it comes to academics. And that would be comparable to the campuses that receive a distinction. Another requirement that we have, that we present, of course, is also our attendance. Attendance is crucial in the attainment of any good rating for either the campus or the district. And just to highlight a couple of things here, of course, in 2020, that's when we went. That's when COVID struck, and we had to go remote for that spring semester. And historically, we hover at around a 95% attendance rate for the district. Historically, up to then, that was the case. Due to the fact that we were finishing the school year at home, that's why you see that 98.4%, which was rather high. The following year, of course, we had remote instruction, and it was at 96.3. But then the following year, in 22, when we had returned to school, that's when we saw the drop, okay? And as you know, we had already hovered 95% most of the time. We took a hit in 2022. But then over the last couple of years, we've made gains of 2.5%. So it has been improving the last couple of years, and it's something that is one of the main goals of the district administration, campus administration, to ensure we have the students at the campus so that we can have the best results possible. We have the federal graduation rate without exclusions. Our actual graduation rate for state accountability is about 96, so it's good. This one is a bit different because it has other requirements as well. These are the demographics. These are numbers that we have, 78.3 being the ECODIS. I'm not going to read all of them, but that's one of the highlights. We used to have at one point, back in 2019, 2018, our ECODIS was about an 82 point something. It was around 82%, so it's gone down considerably. over the last few years. Any questions so far? I'm not going to go over every slide, but just touch base on a couple of things here and there if there's any questions. All of this information comes from the TAPR, which is the second tab in the binder. As far as also financial standards reports, we are required to include them in here. They are part of the TAPR. I know Mr. Mijares presents every month on the reports. The state as well does include this report in the TAPR. It is a lagging indicator. It's lagging 1 year. So you see the actual numbers from the state, from the district, and so on there in this report. That way you can see how we fare with the state as far as budgeting is concerned. Okay, let's see. We're also required to present the campus performance objectives report. So one of the main activities that we do as part of the continuous improvement process is we use data to analyze where we stand at any given campus and the district in any given area. So the campus administration looks at their data. So when they get the data sometime in June, the performance data back May, June actually, when we get the scores from the state and we start getting all the accountability data, then they form their new targets for the following year. So this is kind of their target of improvement on whatever score they attained this previous year. We also have the discipline cumulative report as required. It is there. And one other item, and this is actually the last item that is required from this portion of the presentation. Briefly, I'll move into the next one. One of the items that we are required to have, and that's why we present this in March, not in February, is because this report comes out at the end of February, which is the Texas Higher Education Coordinating Board information on students who graduated, in this case, in 2024 and enrolled for fiscal year 25 in public colleges and universities in the state of Texas only. So you're gonna see numbers where we do not have data for students from either high school, and the reason for that is because these students either attended a private school or they attended a public school outside of the state. So these are only the numbers for those students who attended public schools in Texas, okay? It will not include private school students who go on to post-secondary education or out-of-state students, and those are the numbers that have been identified by the state. The last portion of the report is a requirement that came in back in 2019 or so, and this goes together with a TAPR. It comes straight from there as well, but the goal of the state is to have all students at 60% meet standard in third grade reading and math. Meet standard, which is a federal standard, the higher threshold of achievement. It also includes, or requires rather, that our CCMR indicator, which is a college career military readiness indicator, the high school is also at 60% by the year 2030. That's why it's 30, 60% by 2030. So there is a committee for both language arts and math, and they arrive at these targets. And so the baseline that is being used, of course, is 2025, which is the one that we're reviewing, and they have the targets moving forward. But this is not just an overall performance for the district, it's also by subcategory, population group, okay? From the district, of course, Hispanic, American Indian, special ed, special education, non-continuously enrolled, which are those kids who may come in a little bit late in the year, who are normally are not included in the accountability process. So these numbers include everyone. And so we have the targets there, and the same thing for math. Those are the targets that we have. Remember, this is at the meet standard, which is a higher standard, higher than the state approaches standard that we have. And again, the target is 60% by 2030. And lastly, we also have the CCMR indicator, and I'm glad to report that as we speak right now, we already met the 60% for CCMR at the high schools. We're well above. We actually met 70% already this past 2025. So that one has already been achieved. We're 5 years ahead of that one. So we'll continue with the other two indicators. And that would just be, this last page would be something the campus at the high schools would be using to track individual students. Of course, I don't have names here. And to track if they have met their particular CCMR indicator. And that's all the information that I have for you. If you have any questions.
Any questions by the board? If none, thank you.
Thank you.
That was a presentation of the annual report. We will now move to items 2, 3, and 4 of district reports. You good? Yeah.
No. There it is. Yes, members of the board, if you look at our financial statements that we have on page 47, you have the M&O fund. And we have 6 months of operating the budget. This is after 6 months. We'll have halfway through the year. So this is a good time to look at where we're at, the benchmark we're at, and how we're doing with our revenues and our expenditures. This is as of February 28, 2026. Total revenues we have in the M&O fund, we have $83 million, and it exceeds our year-to-date expenditures. Our year-to-date expenditures are $47 million. So we're doing good with the revenues and we're doing good with the expenditures at this point. Percentage-wise, we have received 66% of our revenues, a little bit more than the 50% because we're at the 50% mark at this point. And expenditures are pretty much on target. They're at 49%. When you look at the utilities for the district, every year we've been doing pretty well with saving money with utilities. That retrofit that we did with the E3 retrofit that we did in 2019 went ahead and allowed us to save some money in our utilities. We have 4 months of utilities. As you see on page 59, it's all the way through December. We spent so far $1.2 million, which is 30% of the budget. We have, at 4 months, we're expected to be at, percentage-wise, we're expected to be at 33%, so we're actually saving about 3%. The percentage goes up as we go through the budget. Last year, we saved, I think it was either $500,000 or $600,000. At this point, after the first 4 months, we're looking at saving about $124,000, but like I said, that'll probably go higher. The tax report, taxes look good. We've collected a substantial amount of our taxes for the first 6 months. We're looking at having a 96% collection rate. So far, for 6 months, we have already collected 87% of our taxes. So that's a pretty good indication that we're doing well with our collections. Are there any questions?
Questions by the board? If none, thank you.
Thank you.
Now we will move to action items. Number 1, consider and take appropriate action on the request to approve the procurement method of competitive sealed proposal and the ranking criteria for CC Win changing room in accordance with board policy CV, CVB, and state guidelines.
Yes, this is to provide comparable facilities at CC Win, just like Eagle Pass High School. We are not done with Eagle Pass High School yet, but it's a good time to make both campuses comparable.
Do we have a motion?
So move.
A motion by Trustee Martinez. Do we have a second? second by trustee Perry. No other questions, all in favor? All opposed? Motion passes unanimous. Number 2, consideration and approval of the purchase of sports lighting from Hellas Construction, Inc. pursuant to 1 GPA contract 23-01 DP-03 for CC Wynn Football Field, and the board delegates the authority to make related budget purchases of goods or services as per board policy, and to amend the budget accordingly to include the matters related to this project and to make the final payment for services.
Yes, when we built the practice field and track at Eagle Pass High School, we already had lighting there. So we're going to use that same lighting to provide lighting to the field. Now, we don't have that same situation in CC Wynn, so we want to make CC Wynn comparable too, so that they can also have the same lighting. So this is for us to be able to provide lighting. They have been asking for this for a while, because it does get dark early, but it will provide lighting for them to be able to practice a little bit late.
Perfect. Do we have a motion? Motion by trustee Lipson. Do we have a second? Second. Second by trustee Perry. No other questions? All in favor? All opposed? Unanimous. Number 3, consider take appropriate action on the request to approve the 2026-2027 school calendar and payroll direct deposit schedule. Mr. Mijares?
Yes, we have Mr. Mijares with the final report. I do believe that calendar, well, this is Mr. Costilla brings it to us. We do have calendar A, and Mr. Costilla can go a little bit in depth.
Yes, sir. Superintendent and Board of Trustees, there were 2 options for approval for the calendar. And it was option. Okay, it was option A that was selected by the staff at 76%. Option A has the holidays in March for Easter for 2 days, and that is what very popular for the staff. So they selected option A. On the payroll, they selected, I believe it was option A also, which is 7 days prior to the pay date. So they elected to go for that route too. So it's option A for the payroll, and the calendar was option A also, by unanimous.
The calendar for payroll is actually what we have right now. So they decided to stay with the calendar that we have right now. We made some adjustments to it so it would be more tolerable. So we made sure that this time that most of the pay periods were not gonna be more than 3 weeks apart. We make sure this time, so we did make the modifications. And the only ones that we cannot make that adjustments are when we have Easter, Thanksgiving and the Christmas break. That since they take off earlier, that's the only time it's more than 3 weeks. But every other pay period, it's 3 weeks or less. So we were able to make that change. So as you see, the calendar A, it's a little bit different than it was from last year, but it's pretty much the same one that we have right now.
Questions? If not, do we have a motion?
I have a question before, so
Okay.
I feel obligated to ask, the 21-day period between payroll, how many times are we gonna see that per year? Because there's a lot of concern regarding that.
Yes, it's gonna be only a couple of times. Like I said, it will be for the Christmas break, and it'll be for Thanksgiving, and maybe the one when we have spring break. So what we do with those, they had a choice to not have it like that, which was B, but most of the employees, 76%, decided not to take that other option. We did have 25% of them that had that concern. So it'll be just fewer times than we have it right now. And the reason that we cannot do away with that is because employees want to get paid before they go on a holiday. They don't want to get paid after. In essence, when they take off to Christmas, when it's their last day, they want to have their check. They don't want to have it on the 31st. And since we pay earlier, then when they come back, that's when we have those issues. When we have those long vacations, that's a week or more. All the employees want to get paid before they leave on the holidays. So that's why we have that gap. So it's only gonna happen, like I said, when we have a break that's a week or longer for the school district.
Can we definitively say it's gonna be twice in the year, or can you put a number on how many times?
It should be about 2 or 3 times, 2 or 3 times that we have that. Now, there's some times, as we all know, I get a call from the superintendent, or I get calls, and employees sometimes want to get paid even earlier. And sometimes we pay earlier because of a special request. I think this year we've paid 4 or 5 times earlier, not later, but earlier. And then sometimes we're working with the PIMS, with Mr. Camarillo, and this year we had a situation with PIMS, and we were gonna pay a week later. And then we were able to finalize everything. We went back to the schedule that we have. The way the calendar looks right now, it's a lot more friendlier with for it not to be more than 3 weeks. I sat down and I made sure that we only had that gap when we had a long vacation. So it's about 2 or 3 times only, not more than that.
Mr. Mijares, can you make sure and let everyone be aware before the school year starts so that they plan accordingly throughout the whole year? You're
Yes.
saying 2 to possibly 3
Yes.
times this year
Yes.
versus how many last?
It was more than that. It was more because we were trying to pay every Wednesday. The calendar that we have right now, we're trying to pay every Wednesday, so that the employees get used to it. Wednesday you get paid. I mean, I think everybody knows that we get paid on Wednesdays, right? Even the principals, everybody knows that the direct deposit goes on Tuesday and then they get paid on Wednesday. And this calendar, there's dates that they're not paid on Wednesday, so we will not have that gap. This is gonna be the first time that employees might call you and say, hey, we're not getting paid on Wednesday. Well, they're not getting paid on Wednesday, so we can narrow that gap. So what we're doing too is on their pay stub, every time they get paid, they get a big highlight on their paycheck. And it says, this is your next pay date. We give it to them in a big highlight. And then maybe what we can do, as soon as the board approves it, as you haven't seen that out, now I've been sending information directly to all the employees in the district. Once you approve it tonight, tomorrow I'm gonna send the calendar that you approved massively to all the employees so that they can have it. Now we have that accessibility to do that, and then we're gonna continue to do that on the payroll. But as you see, even though the one that has the gap of a 3-week gap versus the other one that doesn't, 76% of the employees rather have a gap. I mean, because they want to get paid before they go on a holiday. That's been the thing with the way we pay employees since I've been here, since I started, is that when they take out to vacation on Thanksgiving, they want to get paid. When they take off for Christmas break, they're going to get paid. So for sure, those 2 pay periods, since they're getting paid a lot earlier, when they get paid again to go back to the normal schedule, you're going to have that gap. And this time is not going to be as many times as it was last time. You have the calendar there, and you're going to show it's probably like 2 or 3 times that we're going to have that gap at most, because like I said, I heard the board and I heard the employees and this and that, and we made that change that now they're not going to get paid on Wednesday all the time. Most of the time they're going to get paid on Wednesday, but not all the time. So that's a change that we have there. It's a change. It's a matter of the employees getting used to it and so forth. But hopefully tomorrow when I send the calendar, they start looking at it. They already saw it because they voted on it. Every employee, right, Mr. Camarillo, got A and B, and they saw the calendar. So they have already been exposed to that calendar because they actually had to compare A and B, and they had to choose which one they wanted to go with. So they already know exactly the dates of the pay date and so forth.
And if I may,
yeah.
Mr. Mijares, I think last year there was a few times that the administration or the staff was very accommodating, trying to kind of shorten those gaps.
Yes,
And I think some of those days was more when there was vacation, so it was
Correct.
pretty hard to bring in staff. But I think the less times we go over those
yes.
dates would be a lot better.
yes. I think it'll be a lot smoother this year, believe me.
Okay.
The only growing pain's gonna be that they're not always gonna get paid on Wednesday. And as long as you all know, we're not getting paid all the time on Wednesday because we're closing the gap.
It would
Okay.
just be greatly appreciated by everyone
Yeah.
if you had the dates ahead of time so they can foresee their mortgage payments and other payments that they have that are on a monthly basis so that they are able to.
Yeah, they have them. I mean, they voted for
You
it.
have, yeah.
Yeah, they have it. That's how they voted. Yeah, they had to see the calendar. They saw A, B, and they voted. So they have when it's electronically now. Before we didn't have an electronic voting system, but now we do. This is the second year. This is the second year that we have the voting electronically. So they're looking and then they're voting and they're looking at A and B, and they went with A's. I mean, almost 76%. Yeah, but we'll close it. We'll put it in the payroll the way we have it, and we'll continue doing it. Just so you know, we don't have to come to work. We can literally pay on the 31st and the 15th because we do everything electronically. Literally, when I get on vacation, I can actually tell the computer, you pay the employees on the 31st, and I don't have to. I mean, we do everything electronically. The district has the computer, the capability, the technology, and everything to just time the payroll electronically without burning anybody. It's not like the way it was when I came to work to the district over 30 years ago. Or 30, literally, no. We before we leave, we submit the direct deposit and we tell it we want it effective the way you do your banking and your transfers, and we tell it do the payroll on this date, and we don't have to be here.
Thank you.
Now, at no time are the employees paid later
No.
than the twice a month?
No.
It's always early. Payroll is 15th and 30th,
Yeah.
and they always get paid earlier than that date.
Right.
Also, I visited all elementaries and all early childhoods and met with all teachers.
Yeah.
And once they realized that the reason it was 3 weeks was because of the holidays, they all prefer to get paid before, because especially in Christmas, they need the money before Christmas to buy gifts. You know, it's growing pains, and it's a management issue sometimes, but
Yeah.
we can nowadays anybody can change their payment schedule
Yeah.
real quick. Y otra cosa también is that immediately after the board approves this, it gets emailed the next day.
Yeah.
Okay, so they know way ahead, since right now, what's the payroll and what's the calendar for next year.
Correct. Literally, option B was for them to get paid without having the 3 week gap, and only 25% of the employees voted that because
Yes.
we have the technology to do
Yes,
that.
yes.
We have the
Okay.
technology.
All right. After hearing the information, thank you. Do we have a motion to accept both the high count, the percentage, for the days and the payroll that was voted by the teachers? Do we have a motion? We have a motion by Trustee Lipson. Do we have a second? Second by Trustee Hiller. Questions? If not, all in favor? All opposed? Motion passes unanimous. We will now move to consent items. We will take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 together. Any questions on the consent items? If there are no questions, do we have a motion to accept consent items? A motion by Trustee Jaime Barrera. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Trustee Martinez. If no other questions, all in favor? All opposed? Motion passes. Please thank all the donors for us on behalf of the board. At this time, the Board of Trustees of the Eagle Pass Independent School District will convene in closed session as authorized by the Texas Government Code, Chapter 551, to deliberate upon the following matters. Number one, the board will consult with the attorney regarding the settlement offers for EPISD versus Alamo 19-09-37839-MCVAGA Serna, EPISD versus Alamo 1909-37841-MCVAJA RVE, EPISD versus Alamo 19-09-37847 RVLA, and EPISD versus Linedecker ZAC 19-09-37846-MCV to Sturdy Steel and Trans Texas Tennis, and will consult with his attorney regarding the status of other pending construction litigation pursuant to TGC 551.071. Number two, the board will hear the request to approve term contracts pursuant to TGC 551.074. Number three, the board would hear the level 3 grievance appeal of David Hernandez pursuant to TGC 551.0821 and TGC 551.0074.
Just 07.
074. And number four, the board will hear the district-wide intruder detection audit report findings pursuant to TGC 551.076. Do I have a motion to convene in closed session? We have a motion by Trustee Hiller. Do we have a second? Second by Trustee Perry. All in favor? All opposed? Motion passes. The time is 6:47 and the date is Tuesday, March 17, 2026. And the Board of Trustees is now in closed session and no action will be taken in closed session. Thank you. Okay, we are back. The time is 10:28 p.m. The date is Tuesday, March 17, 2026, and the Board of Trustees of the Eagle Pass Independent School Districts is now in open session, and we will move to item number 10. Number one, consider and take appropriate action on the request to approve the settlement offers for EPISD versus Alamo 1909-37839 MCVAJA Serna, EPISD versus Alamo 1909-37841 MCVAJA RVE, EPISD versus Alamo 1909-37847 RVLA, and EPISD versus Linedecker SSAC 1909-37846 MCV to Sturdy Steel and Trans Texas Tennis.
Mr. President, I move to approve the settlement offers for EPISD versus Alamo 19-09-37839-MCV-AJA Sedna Elementary, EPISD versus Alamo 19-09-37841-MCV-AJA Rosita Valley Elementary, EPISD versus Alamo 19-09-37847 Rosita Valley Literacy Academy, and EPISD versus Linedecker 19-09-37846-MCV AJA as to Sturdy Steel as discussed in closed session.
We have a motion by Trustee Perry. Do we have a second? Second. Second by Trustee Jaime Barrera. Questions? If not, all in favor? All opposed? Motion passes. Number two, consider take appropriate action on the request to approve term contracts as presented. Do we have a motion?
Mr. President, I move to approve the request to approve term contracts as presented in closed session.
We have a motion by Trustee Hiller. Do we have a second? Second. Second by Trustee Perry. Questions? If not, all in favor? All opposed? Motion passes. Number 3, consider and take appropriate action on the Level 3 grievance appeal of David Hernandez.
Mr. President, I move that the board render a decision in the Level 3 grievance of David Hernandez no later than 30 calendar days from today's hearing.
We have a motion by trustee Lipson. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by trustee Perry. Questions? If not, all in favor? All opposed? Motion passes. Mr. Mijares, do you have any correspondence and information?
Yes, we have a TA required safety training due May 29th, 2026. The email with link has been sent to you to make sure we take care of that school safety training. We also have the cybersecurity training that is due May 29th, and an email has also been sent to you. And Thursday, we have Thursday, April 2nd, we have our district service center Easter luncheon at 11:30.
Okay. Do you have a motion to adjourn? Or if we declare to adjourn. Make a motion to adjourn. Do we have a second? Second by trustee Jaime Barrera. All in favor? All opposed? Motion passes. The time is 10:32, and this meeting is adjourned. Thank you all.